What's up?
You support Trump?
You know, I did vote for him.
Do you regret your vote?
I mean, do you think the other side's any better, to be honest?
Absolutely. I think Democrats are better over Republicans.
I think that it's an oligarchy that's controlled by the rich and it manipulates the people to be against each other.
You can say the rich and like the top billionaires have some influence, but we're still a democracy at the end of the day.
But they all take support from AIPAC.
Yeah, and I agree with like we should ban AIPAC, any corporate money.
So they're probably on the same team, right?
No. No, if you think Democrats and Republicans are in the same team, absolutely not. In fact, there's more Democrats that are running for office this cycle that are against PAC money or corporate PAC money than there are Republicans, by the way.
Do you know who Julius Caesar is?
What does Julius Caesar have to do with any of this?
Have you ever heard of the term divide and conquer?
Sure. What is
So you doing this, you having this platform is keeping us more divided, right? Which is playing to their hand.
Yeah, I think we should be. I think MAGA, the insane MAGA, and the normal people should be divided. Yes, I think MAGA should.
I think you're brainwashed.
Okay, I'm not the one who supports a rapist. I'm not the one who voted for a rapist, and I think anyone who does should be condemned. Yes.
I think it's deplorable and wrong beyond words what they did in Gaza, and that was under Joe Biden. So
I agree. I agree that there's a genocide going on in Gaza, and I agree that's deplorable and that should never have been allowed to happen.
Okay, so that's why I voted for Trump to maybe stop that war and the war in Ukraine.
He's more pro-Israel. He started a war in Iran for Bibi Netanyahu, and now Israel is currently occupying Lebanon because of that war. You're telling me you're sitting here saying you voted for Trump to stop a genocide that's going on in Gaza when Donald Trump is more pro-Israel than Harris was, and he also started a war when his whole new thing was no new wars, and now Israel, Lebanon. Are you serious? You're joking.
So check this out. So check this out. It doesn't matter what side it is; they're all controlled by Zionism. Do you understand?
That's how I know you're not like politically informed. Like you're just like such a you're politically like illiterate. Like, you know nothing about politics.
How is that any different from them doing what they did in Gaza?
Who's them?
The government.
Which government?
Left, right.
Okay, so yes, Democrats and Republicans on both sides. How is that any different? Democrats and Republicans are on both sides are pro-Israel, but right now we're seeing a shift in progressivism in the Democratic side, and we're seeing less pro-Israel people and more anti-AIPAC, anti-PAC, and anti-corporate money, and calling out the genocide that is happening. That is a difference. Republicans, on the other hand, aren't doing that, with like a few exceptions like far right and some moderate Republicans like Thomas Massie. But guess what? Donald Trump took out Thomas Massie because he's against the Epstein class and he's against Israel. And now guess what? Thomas Massie got primaried. Do you see any Republican getting primaried because they're against the Epstein class and they're against Israel? No, absolutely not. In fact, they're winning their primaries. So there's a big difference between the left and the right. There's a big difference, and don't ever try to say that they're the same thing.
So you think that if Kamala Harris was the president of the United States, that we wouldn't be doing what we're doing in Israel?
Israel would not be occupying Lebanon. Yes.
You don't think we would have went to war with Iran?
They would have gone to war with Iran, but we would have not been behind. We would have not supported them in that war by sending troops to the Middle East or striking Iran.
I think that you're blind to the bigger picture.
Well, let's look at historical context. In 2024, Bibi Netanyahu asked Joe Biden to preemptively attack Hezbollah. Joe Biden said, absolutely not. This is ridiculous. We would never do that. And they didn't do it. So we would see a continuation.
They leveled Gaza, dude.
We're talking about whether or not Israel or whether or not under Harris, the United States would attack Iran. The answer is no. Like, and if you're saying like the level of Gaza and like you're like anti-genocide, like I would at least expect you to like vote third party, not vote Trump, someone who threatened genocide of the Iranian people, and someone who is continuously bending the knee to Benjamin Netanyahu and Putin. Because you mentioned Ukraine earlier, I would at least expect you to be a third party voter like Jill Stein or something. But the fact that you're a Trump supporter is incoherent gibberish and tells me that you're like politically like illiterate.
You're just saying big words to sound smart now.
Name one big word that I said. Gibberish? If you think gibberish is a big word, then I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, if you take a side, you're against the American people, and that's just what it is. If you can't see that they're manipulating the masses
You
to
took
hate
a
each other,
side. You took a side when you voted for Trump. You took a side when you came on here and came on my live and said you voted for Trump.
He had a pretty decent track record with war. That's why
No,
I voted that way.
ISIS. He did have wars under his term. ISIS. It was like 8 weeks.
Okay, those are terrorists.
It's still a war.
Okay, you wouldn't want to combat terrorism?
The point is here that he claims no new wars under his first term. That's false.
Okay, that doesn't count as a war. That's combating terrorism, dude.
It's still a war against. It's the war against ISIS.
That's ISIS. That's a terrorist group. That's not a group of people, like of a country.
It is a group of people.
It's not a. You know what I mean? It's not like the peoples of a country.
Okay, so right now we're not at war with Iran since it's against the IRGC and the IRGC is a terrorist group.
I mean, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And if I could go back, I probably wouldn't vote for him because I thought.
Okay, so you regret your vote.
But yeah, I wouldn't vote for him again.
What was the why? Why did you even vote for him? Because you thought he was going to end the genocide, end the Russian-Ukraine war, like he told you. That's why I called you politically illiterate, because you believed what he said.
Okay, well, all politicians lie.
Sure, but not to the extent Donald Trump did.
It's like you're glazing on the left side, like it's like totally peachy clean.
No, I don't like
the left.
I don't like establishment Democrats. I don't like them. I don't like Harris. I don't like Newsom. I don't like Javier Becerra. I don't like my governor, Katie Hobbs. Like, these are establishment Dems who are like pro-Israel, pro corporate PAC money. I would have preferred someone like AOC, Tom Steyer, James Fillerico, Zohar Mamdani. I don't like establishment Dems. That's how I know that, like, you're just assuming that I'm like pro-establishment Dem when I'm not.
I think that you're pressing a divisive message, like this platform.
I think MAGA should be divided from the rest of us, yes, because MAGA are insane. They support Trump no matter what.
You can't do that because...
Sure we can. We can publicly humiliate them. Absolutely we can. Should we publicly humiliate Nazis?
You're getting manipulated by billionaires. I want you to know that.
Yet I'm against
billionaires. You are.
How am I getting manipulated by billionaires?
Because you want to bully people that voted for a certain way, dude. You're just petty.
I want to.
You're not about unity. You're not about unity. You're not about for the American people.
Hold on. I want to bully people who voted for 14 million people to die, 4.5 million of them being children all across the world. I want to bully people who voted for someone who threatened genocide, and not just voted, right? Like, they still support him. That's the people that we should be humiliating. People who still support them
in this country.
Yeah, but they voted and still support for 14 million people to die, a war that's rising.
That's what they voted for?
4.2, highest we've seen since 2023. Prices of gas have gone up. In fact, the flesh-eating screwworm wasn't a problem under Biden. Now it is, because guess what? RFK Jr., the one who, off a toilet seat, right, cut funding for this, the Ebola outbreak, the worst we've seen in recent years, because they cut funding. Right? All of these different things that are horrible, that kill Americans and kill people all across the world, and not just harm people all across the world, and they still support that man that does that. They support the man that is against American democracy. That's the people who we should be who we should be humiliating. The same, we should be humiliating Nazis, racists, right? Like Chud the Builder. Publicly humiliate them, like what's his name?
I agree. I agree.
So then you agree we should be humiliating MAGA. Or at least people who still support Trump.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna, see the terrible shit that's going on and not be against that, then yeah, I guess you're a bad person. But I think that it's not like cohesive to any kind of progress doing this.
It absolutely is, because now we're attacking the core root, which is money in politics. like PAC money, corporate PAC money. And now, guess what? Like I said, in the Democratic side, we've seen a rise of Democrats who have taken a pledge to not take any PAC money, any corporate money, and overturn Citizens United. And also with Republicans, with like some Republicans, I will always advocate for in the primaries. If they take a pledge to overturn Citizens United, not take any PAC money or corporate PAC money or corporate money, I will support them in their primaries. But at the end of the day, I typically choose a Democrat in the general election.
Yeah, but just because you have like 3 Democrats that don't take money from AIPAC doesn't mean the Democrats are good.
No, there are dozens of candidates in the primaries currently that have won.
In like the primaries, maybe, yes, but currently...
Yesterday night in California, 5 representatives won their primary elections, and they're all against PAC money, corporate money, and overturning Citizens United. All 5 of them. As well as South Carolina, Graham Planter. I think he's South Carolina. He's for overturning Citizens United and against corporate PAC money. And all throughout these primaries that have happened, there are dozens of candidates, not just a few, dozens. Now, the only thing is we have to push them to win the general election.
Okay. Well, I don't know if, like, humiliating Trumpsters is a good way to do that.
Yeah, well, that's just where we disagree. I think the same way we humiliate Nazis and racists and people who are like transphobic, homophobic, any of the phobias, isms, I think just as we humiliate them and call them out publicly, I think we should do the same thing with Trump supporters. I see no different. And calling out a Nazi, a racist, anyone who does any of the phobias, like I said, I see no difference. Right? It's the same. They support horrible shit that should be condemned. How do we do that? Well, publicly humiliate them. Like before, when like people were like publicly called out for being racist, they just kept them to themselves. But now that we have a rapist in office, they're able to like shoot black people, i.e. Chud the Builder. So going, do you support Trump, Jaden?
Yeah, sure.
How old are you?
20.
Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, he holds a more conservative position on abortion, and I'm a single issue voter, so...
So you care about preserving human life and protecting human life at all costs?
Not at all costs, for sure.
Okay, so you care about protecting human lives. So, for example, if like Donald Trump greenlit the deaths of 14 million people, 4.5 million of them being children, would you still support him?
No.
Okay, Donald Trump greenlit the deaths of 14 million people, 4.5 million of them being children by 2030 because he took funding away from USAID, which prevented these deaths. And he could have prevented this by simply keeping USAID funding. And guess what? It wasn't even that much. It was $6 billion. So if you want to make the claim, oh my God, it's so much money that's going to these random countries, blah, blah, blah. The proposed budget is $1.5 trillion for the military budget. And guess what? The military kills children too. So therefore, you're not a Trump supporter, right?
No.
Cool. I appreciate you coming up here. You take care. Have a great one.